Hey, Colts, it's Mrs. Aladdin, the principal, and I wanted to come to you and do a little more reading from our book, The One and Only Bob by Katherine Applegate. And when we left off last, the hurricane had just touched down in the area they live, and Bob was picked up by a crazy part of the storm and dropped in the giraffe enclosure. And we discover that the part of the storm that picked him up was actually a tornado. And now Bob and the other animals are trying to work together to see if everybody's safe and well. And he just started thinking about, oh my gosh, what about my friends? What about Julia? What about Ivan? So he's moving away from thinking about what's happening right this second to about what he needs to be doing to be a good friend. So let's jump into this. So this chapter is called Sounds. The eerie quiet doesn't last. Before long, the squeals and shrieks and brays and squawks of the animal kingdom crowd the air. Terror, confusion, pain. From far off comes the wailing of sirens. Car alarms blare from the parking lot. Now and then people shout. Cries for help translate into any language, human or animal, fish or fowl. Never want to hear those again. Never, ever. Smells. And the smells. Like I said, feelings have a scent. I figured I'd smelled pretty much everything there was to inhale in this big old world. But the smell of sheer terror, of helplessness, of blood, of broken bones, of torn wings, well, it turns out there are a whole lot of smells I've never encountered. I didn't know how lucky I've been. Surveying the damage. I pick my way past the devastation. The tornado has left a random path of misery. The African aviary is gone, simply gone. The kids' farm nearby, untouched, although there are some very flustered chickens clucking like all get out from the safety of their henhouse. I see a few people. Hopefully a lot of potential visitors were scared off by the threatening weather. It looks like some of the animals listened to their early warning systems, those little voices inside telling them something bad was coming their way. Quite a few seem to have taken cover before the brunt of the storm. I wish I'd paid more attention to my own internal weatherman. I pass the penguin viewing window, the one that allows visitors to watch their graceful swimming. Several penguins are underwater, swooping and swiveling. Joe, Jim, I call, and they both swim over. Is Bert okay? I ask. Baby Bert pops his little head out of the water. Hey, Bob, did you know we're having a storm? Yeah, I noticed. All's good here, Bob, Joe says. You? Yep, took a little flight, though. Daddy, says Bert, can I fly? In the air? Nope, says Joe. You fly underwater. You're a penguin. Bob flew and he's a dog. Bob is a very special dog, says Joe, and he gives me a look, a grown-up, just between us look that says, we're all right, but what about the others? Baby sloth. I say goodbye to the penguins and continue on my way. So much has simply vanished. Walls, fences, barriers, netting. The orderly world of the park with its careful lines defining territory isn't so defined anymore. Many of the habitats are still entirely intact, but not all. What will this place be without fences and walls? You didn't need to watch the Nature Channel to know that certain animals like to eat certain animals. I pass two squirrels, monkeys swinging happily from the children's carousel. A pelican watches from her perch on the popcorn stand. There's a picture of the, there we go. Picture of the pelican. What animals would you be most concerned about getting out of their enclosure? Are there some in particular that you think it could be really scary or it could be really bad for the animal? I'm really glad the penguins didn't get scooped up in the tornado. That would be really bad if a penguin landed on dry land and didn't have access to water. And I think probably like the big cats, that would be scary because they do like to eat other animals, and that could be really dangerous for the other animals in the zoo area. But I'm really wondering about the people, like all the caregivers and the zookeepers. I hope that they're okay. So let's keep reading to find out. I see a camel and a zebra together, looking stunned to be standing side by side. I notice a red lemur, Merlin, on a picnic table. Lemur eyes are always big, if you ask me, but Merlin's eyes look like they're about to pop out of his head. I make my way through splintered wood and glass shards and approach the gift shop. It's roofless. Stuffed toy animals are scattered here and there like they've tried to make a break for it. An I Love Koalas t-shirt dangles from a tree branch. Around a corner, I see a baby sloth. Sylvia, I think her name is. She's resting on a muddy plush giraffe. Hey there, I say. She makes a tiny noise, a sloth sob, I guess it is. Let's find your mom and dad. I'm not one for hugging and licking and such, but I give her a little nudge with my nose. Sylvia somehow manages to grab the giraffe and then looks up at me like she expects to hitch a ride. How the heck do you pick up a baby sloth? It's not exactly part of my job description, and sloths are, so slothly. Carefully, I pick her up by her scruff, the way you do with a puppy. She puts that silly toy in her mouth, and off we go. Here's a picture. Sloths are so cute, aren't they? Takes a few minutes, but I find her mom, Selma. I deposit Sylvia on a patch of wet grass. How can I thank you, Selma cries. No biggie, I say, and I head on with fear in my belly and the odd taste of sloth fur in my mouth. Make no sudden moves. Yikes, I wonder what's about to happen. I've ridden around the grounds of the park in Julia's backpack long enough to know every inch of the place. I've even chatted with many of the residents, but now everything is topsy-turvy. I keep finding myself in places I don't want to be, like the wolf exhibit. Near the entrance, a sign lies crushed on the ground. It has a picture of a gray wolf with an arrow pointing one way and another arrow with an emperor penguin on it. Here's the sign. It's been pretty badly damaged. Can you see this is the wolf part of the sign? And this is the penguin part of the sign, but it's broken. Tornadoes are really powerful storms. To my right, I see a piece of hay stuck deep in a tree trunk like a pencil in a cupcake. To my left, water gushes from a pathside ditch, a broken pipe. The boiling sky has settled into a solid blanket of gray, and the rain's quieted to a steady drizzle. Still, I smell more bad weather menacing in the distance. Tossed into a bush is a large informational display with a photo of two gray wolves. I don't see any fence or barrier or intact wall, and it dawns on me that grumpy wolves and tiny dogs might not make the best of pals, especially under these trying circumstances. Just as I start to leave, a wolf on the sign seems to move, to blink. Oh, he isn't part of the sign. He's next to the sign. It's Kimu. Hey, I say. No answer. Something tells me I should hightail it out of there. Something else is saying make no sudden moves. I hate it when my brain disagrees with itself. I split the difference, crouching meekly, doing the whole submissive dog thing. Kimu locks his eyes on me. I try not to make direct eye contact. A lot of animals find that threatening, but his eyes are mesmerizing, glowing amber and way too smart. He moves again. Two paws appear. Big paws. Nothing like my feeble, shrimpy feet. These paws are the size of hamburger buns. Hamburger buns with lethal claws attached. Mutt versus wolf. I wait for him to launch into his pounce. Maybe if I time my escape just right? Yeah, sure. In a battle of Chihuahua mutt versus wolf, even I wouldn't bet on the dog. Do they break your neck before they eat you? That only seems fair. My heart's doing this crazy tap dance in my chest, and I wonder if he can hear it. I sneak a peek at him. Strangely, he just keeps staring at me. Quickly, I avert my gaze. Those eyes, those chilling, dangerous eyes. It's me, Bob, I say. Kimu says nothing. He's panting hard. Maybe he's disoriented, even hurt. I try to speak again. My voice seems to be hiding somewhere deep in my throat. Another try. Kimu? He blinks. Are you all right? No response. Anyone else hurt? I ask. This time he seems to hear me. I don't know. His voice is a low whisper. Can I help? I ask, really hoping the answer is no. Suzu, I can't find her. All right, then I say, I'll take a look. I poke around a bit, careful not to get too close to Kimu. A sour smell pours off him like sweat off a human. I don't see her, I say after a few minutes, but I'm sure she's fine, just a little shook up probably, hiding somewhere. He doesn't answer. I should go. I'm looking for some friends, I say. Is there anything else I can do? He looks up at the ominous sky as if there's an answer waiting there. I don't know, he says. I don't know. Guerrilla world. I move on. I have to find my friends. I have to, but where am I? I leap over another mangled signpost with bent arrows, one way to Reptileville, the other way to Lionland. I pass the mangrove swamp. A manatee pokes her up her big head draped with Spanish moss like a silly wig. Let's see. There you go. See, her whole body is under the water. And then her little head's above with the Spanish moss, like a wig. Two workers in yellow raincoats trot past me. One has a bloody bandage on his cheek. I need to stop, regroup. Cool it, Bob, I tell myself. I'm panicking, not taking the right data. I try to blot out all the horrible smells, all the awful noises. I concentrate, let my nose do the real work. A whiff of something familiar. Gorilla? It has to be gorilla. Full run now. I cut my back left paw on a shard of glass, trip, fall hard on my nose and cut it too. Dripping blood, I carry on. Find them, find them, find them. A massive old oak lies on its side at the entrance to the gorilla world. Huge tangled roots grope into the air like frozen snakes. And just beyond, where Ivan lives, is nothing but devastation. Help Us is the name of this chapter, and this will be the last one we read. The stone wall separating Gorilla World and Elephant Odyssey is gone. Pieces of both domains mingle. An elephant toy here, a gorilla nest there. Part of the indoor gorilla space has crumbled to the ground. I scan the area where Ruby and her herd like to hang out. Nothing. No gorillas either. Out of nowhere, the rain picks up, coming sideways, blinding me. The wind howls like a hurt dog. The storm is not over, not by a long shot. I leap over a pile of cement blocks, catching my hurt foot on something sharp. I yelp and keep going. Ivan, I call. Ruby! Nothing. I get to a slight rise, leap onto another overturned tree, and then try to make sense of the damage. Red and blue lights cut through the rain. Police, fire engines. Good, we need all the help we can get. I take in several lungfuls of the hideous air. It's too wet, too full of conflicting odors, a mishmash of scents I can't decipher, especially with my busted nose. The wind gathers speed, pushing at me with incredible force. It feels like it'll tear my ears right off my sore noggin. I can barely stand upright. Wind like that, storm wind, doesn't carry a scent. It obliterates it. Help! Help us! It's a tiny, desperate voice. Maybe even Ruby's voice. All right, we'll have to find out tomorrow. It sounds like it's just terrible, and the tornado did a lot of damage to their community. I'm glad that Bob was trying to be helpful, but I'm glad he's looking for his friends too. All right, tomorrow we'll keep reading. We'll find out more about the storm damage and how they work to clean up the zoo, hopefully. I'll see you later, Colts. Take care. Bye.